Yes, yes, people. Hope you're all well. It's the preview show. It's Tottenham, it's Liverpool. Obviously, I couldn't do it by myself as well. Got the main man himself, Jacob, from United Spurs of America. By the way, Jacob, you're on mute if you want to take that off.
Had
How are you
to
today, bro?
had to go ahead and clear my throat just because of the little bit of FIFA you and I were playing before this show started, but I'm doing well. Welcome into everybody who is tuning in on United Spurs America. We are simulcasting right now between Insman TV and United Spurs of America. I thought this was the best way because we were going to bring two different shows. We were talking about it throughout the week. We were going to bring two different shows on the same day and then hop over, but we figured why not just smash them together and make the best possible piece of pie that we can make. So really happy to do this with you, man. It'll be a fun little adventure, and hopefully what we see on Saturday isn't like what we saw today in my living room on FIFA. So that wasn't fun.
I know. Listen, it was only prep, man. You want to tell the people what the first score was, or do you want to go
We
just
only
as
played one game. On record, we only played one game. That's all I'm saying.
yeah? By the way, people, the first game was Basuma got sent off in the first 6 minutes.
Hmm.
And yeah, the game finished 8-1. And then the second game was a lot closer. It was 2-1, but still a win to the Reds. Hopefully, that's what happens on the weekend. But
My internet
with,
connection was funny. What's funny about the internet? If you're a couple days late paying it, they take a couple megabytes of upload and download speed. So that's my excuse there.
nah, fair enough. But look, listen, people, we've got a few things to go through. We don't want to kind of keep you guys too long.
Hmm.
But it is what it is. If we get talking, then and we go over, we'll go over. But first question, though, Jacob, for you, and then I'll answer myself, is, how do you feel Tottenham season's gone so far? Because we've both played now, was this our sixth game, seventh game we're about to play? Played really well over the course of the season so far. I've seen Andrew's trying different shapes and different formations with the players, and Madison's on form, Son's on form. But is there anyone else you feel that's been doing really well? Plus, how's your season going?
I think it's been a welcomed surprise for a lot of people. I think the people that were on the fence, the Spurs fans that were kind of 50-50 on what they thought about Ange Postecoglou, I think they are now more leaning on the side of let's just trust in this man. He can bring us some sort of sustained success. At least that's what his goals are. His goals are to get us to contend with the biggest clubs in Europe, and he said that, and I feel confident in it. I think myself and a lot of other Spurs fans who want the good times to happen are just waiting. We're chomping at the bit, and right now all the signs are pointing positive. But we know this is a long season. I'm not getting too ahead of myself. I know sometimes I get a little outlandish. Last week I was the most shameless I have been, but I think that this weekend's fixture is one of those things that's going to really call in require us to stay resilient no matter what the result is,
Mm,
because whether it's a close match, whether it's a blowout one way or the other, I don't think it's necessarily indicative on where we're going to finish this season. But look, we're 6 matches in, we're having the time of our life as Spurs fans. We drew away at the Emirates, we controlled that match for pretty much 70% of it, and I like our chances more this year than even last year when, let's say, Diogo Jota did commit a criminal offense, assault with a deadly weapon on Oliver Skip. I will not forget
nah.
that because that was game changing. But outside of that, I like our chances a lot more than I did last season. I'll put it that way.
I want to go back to that Oliver Skip comment because don't you think he should have been probably off the pitch after he tried to assault
Hey,
Diaz?
we talked about this last season, and I said when in every match, there's ankle
Right.
stomps, there's foot stomps, there's Achilles kicks. James Madison got his Achilles half torn in the box, and there was no penalty awarded this season. So and then Youngmin's son, his trailing foot grazed the top of a Brentford foot, and then they got a penalty. So when you look at the inconsistencies of this season so far, I have no hope that no matter if that happened, I think the opposite. Skip would have gotten sent off, then Jota would have cleated someone in the face, and then he would have gotten sent off. The inconsistencies are always there. But you know what? I never like to say a ref had a dictation of where the match went or how it was, because outside of a ref's really bad call, you could still There's still 90 other minutes, 89. Let's say he took 2 minutes, wasting everyone's time. There's still 88 more minutes left in that match for you to go alter it. So I don't like to put blame on the ref. So again, I just like to bring that up. Same thing, like, you know, when I look at one of y'all's Champions League trophies, there's the armpit of Sissoko's print right there in the middle of it. And, you know, that I just don't forget things like that. I'll put it that way. I don't forget. While I have moved on, I just don't forget. So I will never forget Oliver Skipp getting assaulted with a deadly weapon in the face. That's egregious. An ankle stomp happens every match. They get carded. They don't get carded. But cleats in your mouth is a little bit different, in my opinion. But you know,
I don't
that's
know.
last season. That's content. I'm not worried about.
Your problem is with the referee, though, Jacob. I think that you need to go and probably write them a letter and tell them how you feel.
I did tag the Met Police. I said, "Hey, at Liverpool Met Police, y'all need to look into this, man. I seen it. There's video proof."
So in terms of, like, from a Liverpool standpoint, I'm sure you've seen around the spaces, most of the fan base, all the ones I've come across, no one really thinks Liverpool can do anything this season. It's just a few, handpick a few that goes, you know what, got a better midfield than what we started off with last season. We replaced Henderson, Fabinho, your Oxlade, your Nabbies, you know, that wasn't available at all. And we've got Szoboszlai now, you've got Gravenberch, Endo, depending, or should I say Wataru, he wants to be called. And you got McAllister as well that we got from Brighton. So we've massively improved our midfield. The strike force we've got as well, you'd probably say, is probably, if not the best, one of the best in Europe. We're scoring a lot of goals, but the only issue is that we keep conceding a goal. Would that be an issue long term? But we keep scoring 3. So even though we concede 1, we score 3. So,
and this is what fans said about Ange Postecoglou ball was, hey, I know our defense is not going to be perfect. I know we're not going to always keep a clean sheet, but at the end of the day, even if you concede 7 goals, as long as you score 8, you still walk away with 3 points. So at the end of the day, the object is to put it in their net more than they put it in yours. And when you play open, expansive football, that's going to happen. You lend yourself to being. But my hope here from a Tottenham standpoint is, like you said, y'all have conceded goals. You can't stop conceding goals. You guys drew with Chelsea. There's some results that I look at where it's like, you know, maybe we can really get out. And that's why my hopes is where we're at, which is going up, and where y'all are is you're not firing on all cylinders yet as a squad. I don't think Klopp has y'all. And so that's what a great time to play, y'all. Because honestly, when I did the preseason predictions, I did have Liverpool finishing second. So if I'm going to remain consistent, I can't sit up here and say, oh, 100% I know we're just going to mollywop y'all, because I don't know that. I know that y'all's attack is exponentially better than Arsenal's attack. They were able to get at us with Buhu Saka. I don't call him Bukayo Saka anymore. It's Buhu. That whole club, Buhu. Arteta, Buhu. I'm curious to see if Jurgen Klopp's going to pull his hamstring during this match or not, like he did last season as well, furiously running up and down that pitch. But what I will say to Mr. Veneers is we will score. We will score against y'all a few times. Y'all gonna score against us a few times,
wouldn't it? Listen, I do expect you guys to score. You've got Son that's in great form, and that's really it. I'm kind of nervous around Maddison. Yes, he's a good player as well, but I think your defense is shaky as well. And I saw how many chances you kind of gave up against an Arsenal team, and to see Nketiah, Jesus not taking the opportunities, even Saka to a point, not taking the opportunities given. If you give those opportunities away, and because you're playing at home, the impetus is on you guys to kind of take the game to us. So
we will. Home or away, we're playing the same way.
So that means you're going to open up, and, you know, with the pace and power we've got on the counter-attack, that could be an issue for you guys massively as well.
Mohamed Salah is not Buhu Saka. I'm putting it that way. Destiny Ugodi had his 6th Premier League start versus what some would say one of the best right wingers in the league. What I would say is we have the best right winger in the league coming up against us this Saturday, and this is going to be this is a great litmus test, because not just a litmus test, but this is a chance for us to prove a point and get something positive from this result, because honestly, it doesn't happen often. I think we were talking a little bit beforehand about the statistics around how often Tottenham beat Liverpool, and it's not great in a Tottenham standpoint. But with Liverpool not firing on all cylinders, with us being able to get after teams for 90 minutes, not 45 minutes, not 60 minutes. I'm talking full 90. We will be coming at you. And if we can continue to have success in the way that we have thus far, I like our chances, because I know we're going to concede. Mohamed Salah, if he goes at Udogie the way Buhu Saka did, we're going to have problems. Your left winger, I would say, is better than Gabriel Jesus on the left wing. It doesn't matter even if it's Jota, if it's Luis Diaz. Both of them I rate higher than Gabriel Jesus on the left. Now down the middle, was it Cody Gakpo? We have a tendency.
We don't know yet. We don't know. Could be Nunes. It could be Gakpo. Could even be Jota as well, depending on how Klopp is feeling.
That's what I'm saying is your attack is so high powered that's what. Again, I was beating my chest last week before Arsenal match. I knew we were going to go in there and put the work on them, because I didn't really get fear when I looked at Odegaard. I don't get fear when I look at Gabriel Jesus or Nketiah. I don't get fear when I look at Buhu Saka. I don't. When I look at Mohamed Salah, that's a different story. I get a little bit scary about it. It's a world-class winger. And again, Udogie's very young. So this is going to be a great test for him to see how he truly matches up with one of the Premier League greats. Because we can talk all this and that about how he's locking up these people. Granted, his pockets are full right now with all the folks that are sitting in there. But I just hope that don't weigh him down on Saturday versus Salah. I'll say that
That's
much.
not going to work against Salah. He's on too much form. Right? Well, from a creative standpoint, maybe not from a goal-scoring standpoint, Salah is massively creating very, very good chances for us now this season. So I think not only does he have to worry about Salah kind of going at him, I think the kid is good. He's quick. Whether or not he can stick with a Mo Salah, I don't know. Savage has this conversation saying, big up to you, by the way, bro. I see you in the chat. Says obviously Mo can't dribble.
Big up Chris Peters. I see you, buddy. I see your messages. Shout out Drula. Shout out Woodsy Zapur. I do see y'all. Sorry, just
that's all right.
away.
We can see you, people. We can see you.
Gio Rea, Future Music, Ren, good morning. Jim, Kate, how y'all doing? My favorite England married couple. Cursor, Adrian Schroka, Rick C, how y'all doing? Participate in that poll. I do have a poll in the chat. If you are in United Spurs of America chat, there is a poll on how are we feeling versus Liverpool. I'm going to tell you right now, man, you're not going to like this result right now. 50% are saying confident, but no, it will be tough. Well, so 50% of Spurs fans feel confident.
You guys are only confident because of the result against Arsenal. And if it was a draw,
I would say it's an accumulative feeling of this season, the way and the manner in which we've gone out and disposed of our opponents and controlled matches, that is the confidence we bring. Not just because our confidence going into Arsenal was already there. So it's not just because of Arsenal that this confidence is like emerged. It's been there. It just grew. So maybe now it's more abrasive. Maybe it's a little bit more in your face now because of the Arsenal match. That could be true, though.
Look at this one from Savage. A man says, am I tripping, or do you think that Spurs fans think they actually won the game against Arsenal? I've seen nothing but man celebrating a draw like it's 420.
Hey, I mean, any excuse, right, to celebrate like it's 420. But what I will say is we're not celebrating like a win. We're celebrating because the disrespect that was given to us all week. People told me these are title challenging players. I'm going to get pissed for a second, Ins. People told me Arsenal are challengers for the title. They told me Saka's one of the best, if not the best right winger. He's world class is what they said about Saka. I didn't see shit that showed me he's world class about nothing. I didn't see nothing from Odegaard that says he's this exponentially greater creative attacking midfield than James Maddison. Statistically, in the Premier League, since Odegaard joined, Maddison is better. When you combine their seasons now I'm not talking about the years James Maddison was in the Premier League before. I'm talking when Odegaard joined the Premier League. You count those seasons, and the statistics don't lie. Your feelings, your emotions when you watch the match might tell you one thing. Oh, Odegaard. Oh, this and that. He plays in a better team, and still his output was comparable last season to a relegation side James Maddison with Leicester City. So my point being is I felt like put that to bed. There was a lot of arguments being put to bed. So we weren't celebrating a draw. We were celebrating the fact that everyone's more dumb and they don't watch Tottenham enough. And they had all these expectations and these thoughts about how Tottenham ran. And in actuality, you had no idea. And again, I've said this, Liverpool, they still don't know, but they're going to find out on Saturday. Now, if we come out on top, that's a different story, but you're going to find out. This is exactly what brought James Maddison
Jacob,
to
this
Tottenham.
Is what we keep getting, obviously, you know, not from yourself, but from Spurs fans. Every time we go to play them, it's like, oh yeah, we're good. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And then the result always happens. As I said, the last time he beat us was back in 2017.
That means nothing to me. I'll tell you, because that's irrelevant. It's absolutely irrelevant. Who was our manager last season? We haven't had a manager start and finish a season since Pochettino. So you're talking to me about 2017, that don't matter to me. None of that matter. That yesterday's price is not today's price. And Chris Godchild at 340 says, "Jacob, stay in America, you soft lad." Sounds like you're rattled. Sounds like you're an Arsenal fan. You got shook. You have no other argument than to resort to my geolocation. So if that's your argument, you've already lost, my friend. Maybe go outside. Maybe talk to your family a little bit. Maybe they miss their father. I don't know. Maybe it's time for you to grow up and get a better argument than stay in America because of my geolocate. Ball knowledge isn't restricted to one country, you fucking idiot, by the way. So just wanted to say that, Chris Goodchild. Come on over, United Spurs of America, talk your bullshit over there. I bet you would not. But big up Chris Peters. Big up everybody in the chat. Outside of that xenophobic prick, I want to say, how's everybody doing? I hope the vibes are immaculate. Keep hitting up the likes no matter where you're watching. If you're on United Spurs of America, you're on Ins, man. We haven't told you once to hit the likes. We just jumped right into the pool and started swimming. So hit them likes up. Come on now.
So, all right, Jacob, last season, let's go back to that game. What was it? 3-0 up in the first, I don't even know, 20 minutes. It felt like it just felt great for a moment. Your defenders were diving all over the place, you know what I mean, slipping all over the place. And then we took our foot off the gas. You guys came back in the game. But Charleston decided to take off his top and dance around and act like an idiot. And
free the nips, baby.
Jota just kind of quiet you guys down. How was your feeling about that one? Because I remember where I was when that happened.
They say you're more aerodynamic in the boots if you have human blood on them. And so that's why Jota went and cleated Oliver Skip in the face. And that's what helped him get in behind. No, look, last year was a capitulation in its finest form. That was a moment in which we could have continued to propel ourselves after that had we held a result at Anfield, but we didn't. And that was you could say a beginning of the end, because after that is when the wheels really started to fall off. And honestly, the vibes, they're not when we talk about last year, that's such a different team in all aspects. In every area that you can look at, that is a different Tottenham Hotspur than this year. Now, just looking at the starting 11, but mentality comes from the top down. Shit rolls downhill. So when I say Arsenal are a bunch of boohoo wankers, I mean that, because Arteta is the top of their boohoo crying, just like all them cronkies, all them sports franchises they own. They all cry over there too. And it's not a surprise that it trickles down into the leadership group of Arsenal. Boohoo, sorry, everyone crying. It's okay. Everyone cry. But my point in saying that is, when Antonio Conte is doing this whole, like, you're lucky I'm even here, I'm so much above this that you are I'm gracing you every time I fart in these hallways. That's not anything to rally the troops around. What Ange Postecoglou has done, that's why the difference in this year to last. If we were able to turn that against y'all last year, I know y'all had a little bit of a shaky year last year too, but I would say that our result helped propel you guys to keep pushing up to even get into European spots. So it's interesting. Where we met last season is a complete difference in where we are now. Whereas we don't have this expectation of we should go in there with a world-class manager and get a result that we should, right? That was kind of the expectations. You hire a Jose, you hire a Conte. That's win now. That's a manager that doesn't come in and help you build. That's a manager that comes in, takes what you have, either give me something more expensive at this and this position, and then I'll challenge for something. That was what we were doing. What we're doing now is different. Ange Postecoglou is not trying to win now. He's trying to build now. He's trying to start the process of building this ethos. And we've seen it. I'm just going to bore you for a second with the Tottenham Hotspur U18s, the Tottenham Hotspur U21s. I subscribe to a streaming service where I can watch these players. They're starting to play the Ange Postecoglou way. We're building an ethos. Whereas before, Conte, he wouldn't even look at a youngster. Well, he fired half of the academy coaches walked. The other half he got rid of. So the point being is, we're focusing in areas that
your
we
environment
won't focus.
that you're saying.
Say that?
Your environment is a lot better than the way it was last.
Bro, you could walk. Let me give you a quote from Heung-min Son a few weeks ago that I know probably didn't make it to mainstream media. He said, when the doping test officials came to our club to test us, even the people administering those tests, they said at that time, wow, everything just feels so much different. Last year it was everyone's head down, quiet, kind of cold environment, and now they walk in, there's music playing, DJ Pomba and Basuma fighting over who gets to play music. Everyone's loving on each other. If you look at social media, everyone's, I mean, you would think they're flirting with each other if they weren't teammates. So I'm just saying the vibes are immaculate once again at Tottenham Hotspur. That could be an X factor that actually helps us in this match, is the belief and the resiliency. Ange Postecoglou's building mentality monsters, and we're not there yet. We're not a finished product.
I like you use that word, mentality monster. That, you know where that stemmed from already. That's a Klopp saying.
I'm gonna say no. No, I don't. Never heard it. I came up with it just now. Cheers.
You wanna use it? That's fine. You can use it, but just remember where it came from.
Remember that FIFA game? As soon as it ended, I already listed you 3 excuses I'm going to if we pretend that this game happened. So come on now.
Let's talk about the injuries then going into this game then. So from a Liverpool standpoint, obviously Trent is still out. He's not ready yet. And you got Thiago. I know most of the guys in the chat are gonna laugh, but Thiago is not fit. I think that's it really. Nunes is fine. Gomez will be back in, and there was a lot of players who rest midweek when we played Leicester as well. Virgil didn't play, McAllister didn't play, Salah didn't play as well at all. So it's good, and I think we've got a near to perfect, fully fit squad apart from Trent. So we're fine. Obviously, I heard news about Maddison, so I'd love to know what's going on over at Spurs. Do you have any injuries or any concerns?
James Maddison, allegedly, he's participating in training. He's good to go. The little hyperextension was more of a scare and a formality to take him out. Now, I haven't heard anything about Son. I know he was allegedly carrying an injury into the North London Derby, but that doesn't stop a mentality monster. Let's be real. Brennan Johnson. Now, maybe I haven't been on the social media enough today, but Brennan Johnson, I haven't seen. I'm about to just do a quick search to see like what the top things saying about Brennan Johnson are. And honestly,
while you do that, let me have a look and see if one of the guys are saying in the chat. Big up TK, man. He says, I forgot about Thiago. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. A bit more than just environment changes. Then think you could just be in a nasty surprise on Saturday, mate. Big up to yourself. I know you're over from Jacob's channel. Let's see what happens.
Hey, big up anyone who is over on my channel right now. Want to say, just take a quick second, click that Ensman TV, subscribe to a great guy. His production value, if you tune into United Spurs of America for the intros, the production value, the time and dedication put into a channel, Ensman's right up there. So I think his body of work speaks for itself. I met him when his channel had like 200 subs. And a couple months later, now he's over at 1K. So I think the body of work speaks for itself. So just want to give respect. I know we're not here as the friendliest of terms. We did get into the mode earlier by playing some FIFA, and you already pissed me off. But he's a good guy. And I definitely want to say, anyone who's interested in getting more of a broad perspective on football outside of Tottenham Hotspur, go click Ensman TV. Go give him a subscribe. Let's get his numbers up as well. Bro. And hit them likes up on both the channels. Whether you're this channel, that channel, go hit the likes up. Come on now.
Yeah, especially you want to, you know, whatever way the result goes, you guys want to see when we do our player rating, see if we're crying, if we're celebrating, and vice versa as well. You know, if you guys are winning, you know what I mean, we'll jump over there as well. And
so my people in the chat are saying Brendan Johnson is day to day. Drula says Brendan Johnson's got muscle fatigue. Big up Joshua. Johnson had a tight hamstring but has trained and he's being monitored, says Archibald. Big up. And big up Psychedelic Shallon for plugging the link over there at Ensman TV chat.
Big up Psychedelic, appreciate it.
Yeah,
it's a good mod, man. He looks after us still.
Yeah. He comes over and supports the channel too. So
I've seen. So injury wise, you guys are kind of set then. The only with your team, right? Obviously, we get
outside
to
of Bentancur, which is an obvious loss, but we've been coping without him thus far.
He's been gone for since the start of the season, since
last season. Yeah, right? he got hurt in the middle of last season. So
do you know what? When I look at your team, and obviously we'll get to your lineup in a second. You've already kind of prepared that for us anyway. I'm not really scared of anyone apart from Son and Maddison, and I think if we keep them quiet, I don't see what you guys can kind of offer.
You need to be worried about Yves Bissouma. He is him. Anyone who slept on what he did, if anyone who looks at last season and says, well, this is what Bissouma is, Thank you. You're making a grave mistake. Arsenal said the same thing. Remember when he played last year under Conte, he couldn't even get the tactics, etc., etc. This is not Yves Bissouma of yesterday. This is not Tottenham of yesterday, and Yves Bissouma is a big reason of that. He is one of those positions where if he goes down, I don't have confidence in anything that we do. James Maddison, the same thing. Heung-min Son, the same thing. These are our depth is as shallow as a kiddie pool right now. But what we have is a great 11. But if Destiny Udogie goes down, if Van de Ven goes down, Romero goes down, Basuma goes down, James Maddison goes down, Heung-min Son goes down, I would argue all those positions, if someone goes down in, we are a completely different looking side, and my confidence completely does change in that manner. So as long as we stay healthy with those positions, I think Yves Bissouma is just as critical to our success this season. He won 2 straight man of the matches. He absolutely bossed the North London Derby.
That's not hard, is it? You know what I mean?
What?
Two men of the match.
Who on your squad has won 2 men of the matches in a row, regardless of your result?
We play decent teams. You guys have only played a shocking Man United and then Arsenal. I'll give you that one.
I mean, these are the excuses I heard last season. These are the excuses last week, not last season. Last week.
You haven't though. You haven't played. The only other team that you played, normally a bogey team, is Brentford, and you drew 2-2.
I'm sorry, is Arsenal not title contenders? Are they not supposed?
That's what they challenged. That's what I said.
No. From a complete standpoint, look at it without any feet into the game of any club. What I want to say is, they challenged City last year for the title. Mathematically, you have to concede that they did.
Yeah.
Then they spent 105 million in their 160 million in 2 different positions on their midfield. I mean, one of that, the 65 mil for Kai Havertz, we don't even know what position he plays. He didn't even start. Kai Havertz, they spent 105 million on this guy. I'm supposed to be told that these are the reasons why they are going to continue to push and elevate. So I'm told they're supposed to be better than last season, but we go to their house and we dominate them, come out with a draw. And this is the respect we get. It's okay. I'm fine with y'all to keep sleeping on us. I've said, as soon as we play these big boys and we do the tests that everyone thinks that we need to take, and once we show, again, on the brightest stage that we can have, right, so far was Arsenal. We took care of business. We got a little bit more respect. I said this week is the week to start talking to Tottenham nicely, because it is time to talk. And after we go and we take care of business for y'all, and I'm not as confident saying this, but I feel like
hope more than anything else, Jacob. It doesn't
bro,
sound like
I know, but see, last season we were able to put that work on you with Stellini ball, I think it was at the time, because I think Conte was in Italy eating pizza and getting a new kidney. So what I'm saying is, I have hope, and I know that we're going to bring our game to you. And if we can stay resilient in the moments in which, right, but regardless of home or away, we're going to bring it to you. Regardless if you want to sit back and allow it or come at us and meet us, bring that. I've said to anyone who's tuned into my channel, I've said all season that we bring a certain type of fight to you for 90 minutes. So some clubs, like Man United, they could hang in there for 40 minutes. 45 minutes was about as much as they could hang in there. Brentford hung in there for about 70. Burnley hung in there for about 25. This is my point, is the manner in which we play. Look at Arsenal now. Half their fucking players can't even train. They're hurt. Saka's out weeks. What happened? He got bodied by Udogie. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's true.
Yves Bissouma, what happened to Declan Rice? I'm a 45-minute Rice.
I don't rate Declan Rice.
I got rice in my pantry that take longer to cook than this man can give you in our North London derby, and I'm told.
I don't rate him. People saying that he's one of the best midfielders.
Bro, I
don't see the hype.
Any Arsenal fan, this is what I love saying to him. Ends any Arsenal fan that's bigging up in Rice, I would say, name me 5 things that he does well, and try to make them different than 5 things people say Højbjerg does well. I think he's $105 million Højbjerg. People don't want to have that conversation. It's a little disrespectful, I know, but English tax is a hell of a bitch. That's all I'm gonna say. I think he's a great player. I think he was West Ham's best player last season. I think he is vital for what they do. But again, I didn't see anything in that 45 minutes. I did a watch long, and I remember the 3rd time I said his name, I was like, wow, we're like 30 minutes in, and this is the 3rd time I've said Declan Rice. Like, I don't understand. I thought this man was supposed to be all this and that.
Big up to yourself, tricky one. from Jacob from your channel. It says,
Big
how
up.
many times have you watched us play this season? 3 times. Brentford, United, Arsenal. Don't really spend a lot of time paying attention to your games, but I've watched 3 of your games, and you do offer up a lot of chances. Listen, you play good football now, but I still see holes and gaps in your team. I think you guys, looking at tomorrow's game, not tomorrow, sorry, Saturday's game, if we were playing at home, I think you guys would have been in a better position, because then you could sit back, soak up the pressure, hit us on a counter attack. But because you're at home, you guys have to take the game to us, and that plays into our hands as well. So it's listen, I think you guys will do well this season, just not on Saturday. Will you be doing a combined 11? Yeah, no, we spoke about that. We're definitely going to do that at the end. Well, let's talk about your lineup. I've got it here. Let me bring it up, and you can talk to people through it.
Yeah.
Boom. There you go, people.
Bada bing. There it is. This is what I assume Ange Postecoglou is going to go with. And honestly, if I chose my ideal 11, it wouldn't look much different than this unless if Brennan Johnson's healthy. If Brennan Johnson's healthy, then I might start looking to tweak things for this matchup. I think the battle here in the midfield is going to be absolutely crucial. So I know Yves Bissouma, he's going to be here. He's going to be here. He's going to be here. He's going to be everywhere. And I'm saying, you mentioned you're most worried when you look at this lineup. You said I'm worried about Son and Madison, and I hope Klopp feels the same, because as soon as you do that, guess what? Papa Montessar is going to pop up right here next to Son, and he's going to take a shot. Now, whether it goes in or not, it remains to be seen. He did bag one versus United, but that's neither here nor there. My point being is, as soon as you worry about what Madison is doing, which he's going to drift off left here when Maynard's playing up and back, he's going to drift off to the right, and that's good. Worry about him. What he does is he pulls your 6, and if you're going with McAllister at your 6, he's going to pull him left, he's going to pull him right, and I like the positions I think he's going to put McAllister in, because let's face it, that's your last line before you get to this porous defense. And I'm curious to see what your back line is going to look like. Now, I've always rated Virgil van Dijk very high, but I'm saying we've got a better Dutchman at our back line right now. Mickey van de Veen is him. This is again
the one that we allowed you to get, that guy. Okay.
Y'all slept on him again.
No, we didn't sleep on him. We just allowed you guys. You guys needed a center.
Yeah, Newcastle allowed us to get James Madison. Look at that, how that played out. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Van de Ven is only quick, isn't he?
No. That's a myth. That is a myth. That's people who saw one highlight from him at Wolfsburg and said, oh, he could get back. And then I heard, oh, statistically in the Bundesliga, Mickey van de Ven is actually not good in the air. Since he's been at Tottenham Hotspur, I think he's had 2 aerial errors. Outside of that, he's been perfect on set pieces aerially, if that's the word. What my point being is, Mickey van de Ven, he'll be his 7th Premier League start. It'll be Destiny Ugoti's 7th Premier League start. And with that, is going to create you chances. I think Mohamed Salah working this side here in between when Bissouma is pressed high up, or even when Ugoti drifts in, because he'll drift in here in these spaces too. And he'll drive with that ball forward here. He'll come in and help here with the ball when we have it in possession out on the right. So my point being, there will be these spaces for Mohamed Salah to exploit. And there will be times when we're going to be relying on Van de Ven, one-on-one with Salah. What can he do? This is going to be a great test for him. Destiny Ugoti, defensively. He's never seen a winger that's like Mohamed Salah. So this is going to be a great test for a bunch of positions that are going to be very crucial looking forward. Because last week going into Arsenal, I said, Ugoti versus Saka, I like that. I like that, because even if he gets turned inside out, which he did a couple times, but after his yellow card, I thought he was much improved. But the times he did get turned,
though, didn't he, Jacob? Like once he got his yellow card, he kind of just stepped off and went, "I'll let you have the ball, and I won't do anything, too rash.
Exactly.
I might get sent off." So he's learning on the job. But this is not, Saka you're coming up against. This is a world-class winger. But I like that, because Ange Postecoglou is not going to get them to shy away from that. At every juncture, he's said, play with the ball as confidently as you can, and if you make mistakes, you're going to make mistakes, and that's fine. Make those mistakes. Play on the front foot and make those mistakes. And again, this is just, even if we come out of here and we get a draw or we even get a loss, as long as we go and we fight the fight that I'm expecting us to bring, I know for a fact this is going to be a huge growing moment for a lot of these young players. Vicario, 7th Premier League start. 3 players going to be making their 7th Premier League start in a huge match versus Liverpool at home.
It's going to be a great test to see what they can do. Also, I like our goalkeeper to bail us out on a few chances. You saw that in FIFA. You said the last result should have favored you a little heavier, but Vicario bailing us out. He's a crazy son of a bitch. I love him.
Do you know what? I'm looking at your team now, and I'm like, Romero. He's the problem. I think he can either have an amazing game or he could just get himself sent off. He's just that type of defender. Van der Ven, he's been okay. Obviously, but he's now coming up against real speed, real movement. He's coming up against a high energy team as well. So I'd love to see what he can do. But Basuma, you're right. He's massively improved, from where he was last season, which is fine. And then Maddison's come in and added that creativity, that little spark you guys needed. He's been good. He's good this season. Son through the middle. He hasn't got that blistering pace like he normally used to have. So it'd be good to see what his movement is like around. And, when we get to the Liverpool team, whoever we play at the back, obviously one will be Virgil. It will be good to see what his movement is like because he doesn't have that, that crazy speed that he used to have, a couple of seasons back where he would just run off your shoulder and you can't catch him. I think he's lost a bit of that. So he has to play a lot more smarter now. So it'd be interesting to see. But I'm just looking at your team. I'm like, I'm not really scared of these guys, apart from Son, because I know how clinical he can be on the day. And Maddison, because he's that type of player that could probably just get a goal out of nothing at times. Basuma, yeah, he's been all right. But I'm looking at your back line that keeps offering up chances. And I saw one of the comments as well, like Liverpool offer up chances as well. Yeah, we do. We do. But then at the end of the day, I'm seeing you guys, most of our chances that we offer up tend to be mistakes. Most of the goals we conceded is mistakes from, individuals, not as a defensive unit. But it's Tottenham. I don't like the way some of your fan base has been talking, Jacob. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, what did you like about it?
The draw got you guys a bit too overexcited, I think.
This is another myth. Talk to any Tottenham Hotspur fan that's not a 12-year-old on Twitter or in a chat. That's an actual face that is going to go and say, this is what I think. And even the most delusional of us, and I'm biased as hell a lot of times. A lot of times I'm biased as hell. It's hard for me to take off my glasses, but that's okay. If you talk to any Tottenham Hotspur fan, we all felt like we dropped 2 points. We're not celebrating a draw. The locker room, the quotes that came out from our captains after the match as well, the vibe in the locker room was not one of celebration, happy. Everyone was pissed because they felt like we should have gotten the win. That's how I felt walking away from it. Going into it, yeah, a lot of fans would say, give me the draw and give me a point at Emirates. I'm taking it. And I've always felt like I knew for a fact we weren't going to go there and lose. I felt worst case scenario was a draw. But we should go in there and win. And a lot of Spurs fans felt the same way. And a lot of Spurs fans at the end of the match said, damn, we should have won that. We are unlucky to not win that. I just think it's more of like the fans who are, you got all these high profile, like content creators, journalists, pundits on Sky, Paul Merson, shout him out, the cokehead. What I'm going to say about that dude is he's absolutely in the mud. If Spurs play their brand of football, they're absolutely going to get ripped apart. They're going to get torn inside apart, just like my nose canals because of all the cocaine. Well, my point is, Paul Merson, you're a bitch and fight me. I'll fight you in the middle of the street. I don't care. I don't like the disrespect. And so whenever we go in there and we prove guys like Paul Merson and other top content creators on YouTube, I'm not saying no names. I ain't calling nobody out. They know who they are. But when you do that and we go in there and you don't dominate the game, you look passive and you're lucky to get a point, we are going to come with some chest like, you stupid ass. We told you this was going to happen. You didn't believe us. It's time to talk to Tottenham nicely. That's the theme of the week.
If you look at the first half, though, obviously Maddison lost the ball. Jesus scores that one. Saka should have probably scored one of the chances he had as well. And also, Nketiah as well should have scored a goal. I know it looks on I know obviously every time Arsenal scored, you guys equalised straight away, but Arsenal had enough chances to go and win that game cleanly as well in the first half.
Yeah, but what did they do the entirety of the match? We had the first chances on goal, if you remember, with Brennan Johnson.
Yeah.
So we could have easily been up 1-2. Everyone can play this. We could have easily been this and that and the other. What matters is when that final whistle blows, what's the damn scoreboard say? And what's the possession stats say? What does the chances created say? They say in the first half we dominated your ass with 60% possession and one more big chance created. Same amount of shots on target. My point being is people keep writing us off, and I like it personally. Keep overlooking us. And I feel like if Liverpool do that, you're making a mistake.
No, we won't. We won't go into the game overlooking you guys. But let me show you what I think we'll go with. I know we don't have too long left. Let's go.
Let's see what Liverpool looking like. Tap their ass.
Don't get nervous, Jacob. Don't get nervous. I know you're seeing a lot of world-class footballers now. It's your first time to see all of these boys.
Oh, Andy
obviously, you know,
Flobberson?
Allison in goal. You know he's number one in the world. Robbo and left back. Then you're gonna have Virgil. I think Kanate comes back in for this one, for his speed. You know, just to make sure he bullies Son for the rest of the game. Gomez will go right back because we know Trent isn't fit. So Bozolai, you know, some fans are saying he's the best midfielder in the Premier League at the moment. Whether he is or whether he's not, I leave that down to you guys to debate. Curtis Jones in there as well, massively stepped up this season. Last season, the back end of that as well. And then McAllister in the six. And I know that's one of the positions you were saying, you know, Maddison could probably exploit by dragging him left and right. That's what, you know, West Ham midfielders thought, and he was just putting them in the pocket as well. So let's see what happens there. Diaz against Porro.
Who's doing that for West Ham though?
You got Paqueta, you got what's his name, James Ward-Prowse. You got those kind of players.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You got Bowen as well. You know, McAllister was just bullying all of them, man, winning the ball off of them and playing it simple. You got Diaz. So Diaz on Porro, that would be an interesting one because I've noticed with Porro, he just likes to bomb on and go forward. If you leave that space in behind for Diaz on this side, he's going to cook up. And especially then he's going to play inside on Romero. That, you know, he's a very rash defender. You could easily see a penalty being given easily there. Then you got Nunes in behind. He's probably one of the fastest players, if not in the Premier League. And I know
so
you're
you think Nunes starts over Gakpo. You're saying Nunes starts over Gakpo.
I think he starts over Gakpo. I think he's deserved.
I think he would present us more of a threat to the way that we play. I think his speed in behind. Whereas I feel like Gakpo's more of like a true striker, whereas Nunes is like a winger that can sometimes finish decently. So I do worry more, I think, about Darwin Nunes. And some people are the opposite. There's a lot of Spurs fans who are more worried about Cody Gakpo because he is kind of a more all-around striker, in my opinion. Honestly, that's what scares me about Liverpool is it doesn't matter. It's pick your poison. It's which gun are we taking to this fight today, and it's that for y'all. But you know what guns we're bringing. You know what I mean? So I think the little bit of mystery does play into your hands. Luis Diaz on Pedro Porro. Again, I always say he's worked on his defense a little bit and he's improved steadily each match. But where he's most porous is balls over the top and behind him. You let Luis Diaz make a run behind him and you put a ball over the top. If any of your midfielders or your wingbacks fullbacks can find him over the top, and you know, I'm thankful Trent Alexander-Arnold's not going to be playing. So that's my hope
thing for us, to be fair, because then we can actually then play with Joe Gomez more defensively as well, just to kind of nullify any counter attacks you guys might try and do, and then not to mention the small problem of Mo Salah as well. Or is it 4 goals and 4 assists so far this season from the wing? Not bad return yet. So
Salah's a problem.
He's had a full rest as well, by the way, just to let you guys know.
Didn't he come on for that?
Nope,
Carabao Cup?
He didn't even get picked at all. Didn't get picked.
Oh, okay. So he's just been chilling, eating, and meditating, and
it's great yoga. He does yoga as well.
Yeah. So doing some yoga. Yeah. There you go.
I think that's going to be the team. And then obviously on the bench you got players like Gravenberch who come on if needs be. You got Pasetic. You know what's your thoughts on like Curtis Jones? Because a lot of Liverpool fans didn't rate him, but now some of them are coming round to go, do you know what? He's actually a good footballer. What's your thoughts on him if you've seen him play much?
In the moments that I've seen Curtis Jones, I think his nickname kind of lends to the way in which he plays, Cujo, which he plays aggressively. I think that he's a decent passer. I mean, again, this is from a Tottenham fan that's watched him, and it's not like I'm like, oh, there's Curtis Jones. I mean, watch him. I mean, he seems like a guy who's been getting better with each appearance that he has, and definitely splits your fan base a little bit. I can't say what there is about him that necessarily intimidates me from a standpoint, but what do you think? Let me ask you, what do you think of his ability to be able to find the forwards in crucial areas? Because if he can do that with the forwards pace and the quality that you have on the right-hand side, I just think that if him or Sabitz, I know Sabitz live, seen that motherfucker play. He's pretty damn good. And if either one of them can find him, I really worry about our back line. That's why I said I definitely see us conceding a few goals. I see us getting a few goals. It just matters about our resiliency. This squad, if it's this squad or any ideation of this, it's still going to be a problem. Y'all are a very good side, very well managed side. I rate Liverpool highly. I don't think, I know everyone's giving it to each other in the chat right now, which is absolutely hilarious to see. Shout out all of the Tottenham faithful sticking it good tonight. There's there's 95 of y'all in the house. Hit the likes up over there on United Spurs of America. And on Insman TV. Make sure you go like and subscribe over there. My point is that I think Curtis Jones, I guess long form answering your question, like, I guess it just depends what version of the dog we see on that day. Is he going to be the Arf Cujo, or is he going to be the tail between the legs Cujo? And again, we could put you on the back foot and make that happen. We could put him on the back foot and make that happen. If we go at him, Basuma turn his ass around two ways from Sunday.
Too calm. He's too calm now, and I think he's a lot more mature than where he was. So, yeah, you think you can do that, but you have to try and get the ball off of him for one. And when it comes to recovering the ball after losing it, he's one of the top players for us. He runs everywhere, covers a lot of ground. And when you said about his passing, like, what I noticed, let's go back to last season just quickly. My main issue with our midfield was, we had people that could run around, but we had no real creativity, no real ball playing midfielders. It was just like, we'll just put you guys in there, just do a job. Now we've got players, Curtis stepping up, Harvey stepping up, so not even to mention Szoboszlai, McAllister coming into the team, even Endo in the last game, man. I don't know if you watched the Liverpool game at all, but against Leicester, that second half, no one could even get a sniff anywhere around the midfield with Endo in there. Sorry, Wataru, I should say. And then having Gravenberch, with his skillful dribbling, his pace, power, movement, and his creativity as well. He's played two starts and he's got 2 assists already. That wasn't happening last season. And if we could create 4 chances against you guys last season with that midfield, I'm just thinking, how much chances can we create this season with a better midfield? Just a long-winded way of answering the question. But no, Curtis is a very, very good player. You got a super chat on your channel, bro.
Big up, Kate. Just a girl who loves Spurs, says Dick Van Dyke has more pace than Virgil van Dijk. I agree. Isn't Dick Van Dyke dead? I don't know. Someone tell me, is he dead or not? Maybe he turns over faster in his grave than Van Dijk. What do you think about Van Dijk's pace? Do you think we can exploit that pace? Because that really, sun through the middle, that's what it's going to be about.
No, I think obviously he's not as quick as what he was before, but I think it's a myth that he's not quick. Because I've seen a lot of different strikers go and run against him. And I think with Virgil, I think it's more because he plays the game in such a calm and composed way, it doesn't look like he's running quick. And because he's a tall player, he's got more longer strides. So you got the shorter players with quicker turnover speed. So they always look like they're traveling really quickly. But Virgil just jogs next to you and then just nicks the ball off you in the last minute when you think you're going to have a chance. I don't think he's slow. I just think he's obviously lost a tiny bit of speed. But I just think it's a myth, man, that people keep thinking that he's not got any speed at all.
Fair enough. Do you want to do our combined 11 before we end this thing off?
Yeah, let's do it. Hold on. Let me get that one down. Bear with.
Okay, so Kate says he's alive and 97 years young. And there you go.
97. Jeez.
That man been doing TV since before it had color on it. How about that?
What I'm gonna leave players in.
Okay.
Where I think your players could get in.
Okay. I'm sure the chat's going to love this one. That's it.
That's
it.
And there's only, that's all I think he'll get in.
All right, so real quick, I agree. Pedro Porro over Joe Gomez. I would say Christian Romero over Konate. You already have the red X above his head. We could spend forever arguing that one, but I'll let you have him. I'll let you.
The guy that scores own goals and score and gives away penalties.
Fair enough. Hey, that's fair enough. He had a bad North London derby. That's fine. I'm taking Son over Nunez, 100%. one of them, you could give him the ball at his feet in the box, and you know what he's going to do, which is be clinical with it. The other one, you don't quite know what he's going to do.
How many goals has Son got this season?
5.
From in the Prem, 5.
5.
Darwin's got what, 4?
One's got a hat trick. One's got a brace.
So yeah, you can even there and there. I don't know. It's 1 goal difference,
bro. Through the middle. If you had to give one the ball with the ball at their feet in the box and with a shooting lane to finish, who's finishing it 10 out of 10 times? Is it Nunez or is it Son? I think it's Son.
I'll give you that one.
And then obviously James Maddison does get in there as well. I'll take Sabitz alive for sure. He's quality. I'll take him in that.
You take him. He's definitely getting in there.
And then I put Basuma in that open role as well. Salah for sure over any winger that we have, 1,000%. Luis Diaz, I would say, yeah, I think he gets in at left wing above anyone that we, Brennan Johnson is still a lot unknown. And I think Luis Diaz has shown enough in the Premier League at least to say that's why he gets my nod at that wing over. And then Richarlison, say that again?
No, what was you saying? Sorry.
I was just saying that Basuma, yes sir. The only ones that I might fight for, like tooth and nail, I guess like longevity wise, career wise, you could say Van Dijk over Van de Ven, I guess. But if I had to pick one to go on my team,
whoa, no, you can't say it like that. He gets in because he's a world class defender, and yours isn't.
Yet he isn't yet. You better add that yet on that because Van de Ven's 21. Man. He's the next big thing. I'm telling you, it's okay. I'll accept it right now. But next year, you may be talking different to me.
What's the difference between him and Kwanzaa for us? That young kid.
What do you mean?
Van de Ven.
What young kid? Kwanzaa?
You probably haven't seen him play.
I don't know who that is. I thought you were talking about the.
You will soon. There's no difference between him and Van de Ven.
I'll take it. You know what? I'll take it this year. I'll be fine with that. But Robertson, right now in the Premier League, who's been better? Ugoti or Robertson?
Robinson has. That's why we sit 2 points. Is it 2 points or a point above you guys?
Because of Robertson.
Well, he's a part of the 11, isn't he? He has to do his job.
Well,
and he scored. And he helped us in the game against. Was it Wolves? Scored a second goal.
I don't know, man. If I wish I had more time because I would sit here and argue why the points I think Udogie gets in over Robertson.
Maybe in the next 4 years.
I think offensively he's more creative. I think he's faster. I think he's more powerful with the ball at his feet, without the ball at his feet. Defensively, you might give it a push because Udogie's been absolutely fantastic defensively. I know Robertson's been vetted in there. He's done it for a while, but I think from what I've seen from Robertson, he's more easy to get at than Destiny Udogie is. That's just my opinion. But again, we'll find out. This is the thing about whenever we did combined 11s with Arsenal fans as well. They all said this, that, and the other. But I would like to see their revised 11s the day after we played them because I'm sure it'd be a lot different.
Well, we'll do that. We'll definitely do that. Kim, why do you not think Virgil's world class then?
I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see why.
Shout out, Kim. What's up? Everybody in the chat fighting. I love to see it. Big up, everybody. I see you, Joe Hong. I see you, Spurs King, Archibald, Mr. K, Steady as Shark, Alan Bennett. What's up? How's everybody doing?
Well, we got a couple of minutes left, people. So,
score predictions?
Let's see. What is the score prediction? So, I'll go to you first, Jacob. Do it with your chest, bro.
You know what? Fuck it, bro. I'd rather go out high than, come in here with a modest approach. I've been saying 3-2 and we get one at the end, but I think given that y'all average 3 per, I'm going to give y'all the 3, but I just think we're going to come in with that 4th late. Our resiliency, the mentality monsters that Ange Postecoglou is building, the love will transcend.
Jacob, stop using words that Klopp invented, man. It's
invented. There we go. Klopp is it. There was something that Postecoglou said this past couple weeks that everyone's attributing to him like he's the one who came up with it, but it's a quote from like an old college football coach here in America from like the 60s where he said, the doing the right thing, or something about doing the right thing. I can't even think of the quote right now. Fuck it, but something about doing the right thing. All the Spurs fans know the quote, but everyone's acting like Ainge was the first one to ever say. He's like, bro, I read this quote. I didn't come up with it, but everyone's attributing it to him. I'm saying 4-3 Spurs. That's with some bias. That's definitely with my bias. I just think that we have a good chance if we can remain resilient in what we're doing. Like every time we've gone down, we fought and came back. And I think that if we can continue to do that, I like our chances in this match to at least get a draw. But I'm a Tottenham fan with a lot of bias, so I'm saying 4-3 win. I am going to give you all the 3 goals, though. I know it's going to be an end-to-end affair. That much I do know.
I think if Tottenham plays the way that they normally play, I reckon we could score 5 in that game.
You probably can, y'all. If that's the thing about your forwards, if the midfield, the battle's going to be there in the midfield. It's up to us to stop y'all linking up with them forwards. But if y'all capitalize on the mistakes that we're inevitably going to make, then you probably can. You probably can. But I still like our chances. Again, the Ainge Postecoglou motto is we never stop. So regardless of the scoreline, we're never going to stop, and that's all I want to see from my Tottenham Hotspur. Honestly,
I know you've tried to use the mentality monster, but there's only one mentality monster around town, and that's Liverpool. So I'm going to go with a 5-2. I'll go 5-2. I think you guys will get goals, but I'll go 5-2 to us. Let me see what the people are saying just before we head out. In terms of the score, I've seen quite a few scores in there. Let's have a look. Where am I? Let's go 2-2. I saw 2-2 from Phil. Sophia in the building, big up to you, man. 4-3 to Spurs. Of course you would choose them.
Big up, Sophia.
Savage in the building. He's gone 3-0 to Liverpool. Just a girl goes 3-2 to Spurs. And he's on a 4-2 to Spurs. Very enough.
Come on,
right, 5-1 to Liverpool. 1-1 from Sea Dancer. Scott says 7-0 Liverpool. They're gonna rip us apart.
Scott, come on, man.
Mr. K says 4-1 Spurs. Fair enough. Where else? Where was that? West Coast is gone.
Hey, West Coast Cacarel. 4-3, get in.
Rampage 2-1 to Liverpool. Yeah. Woodsy goes 3-2 Spurs. Okay. Big up to yourself, Stefano. It says 4-1 Liverpool. Spurs getting humbled. Yeah, love that. Is that the last one? Hold on, I see K here as well. Big up to K. It says
3-0. Y'all don't think 1. So you're telling me what? Didn't Chelsea score against y'all?
Psychedelic says 5-2.
Did Chelsea score against y'all?
Yeah, they did.
So the fans who saw Chelsea, who are going to have to pull a Carabao Cup goal for the goal of the month, because they can't. Did you see the Nicholas Jackson? They scaled the goal up 325% for this man to score. But you're saying they can go and score against Liverpool, but Tottenham Hotspur cannot with the way that we're. All right.
Jacob, why are you getting held? Were you getting held up on just the? There was a lot of people that said you guys will score. Even I said you guys will score.
I know. It's just some of the funnier ones. Like it was like last week when people have 5-0 to Arsenal. I was like, even if we lose, it ain't gonna be no fucking 5-0. That's hilarious. But again, that's just from people who probably don't watch Tottenham enough, and that's fair.
All right. 3-2 from Ravi. Allen's gone 2-2.
Big up, Allen.
David's gone 4-2 to Liverpool. Storm's gone 3-1 to the Reds. Ashley, big up to yourself, man. 3-1 to Liverpool as well. Yeah. Before we head out, I just want to look back at a couple of the results since we last played, right? So the last time you beat us was in October 2017. It was a 4-1 win. That's when you guys had Wembley as your stadium. Since then, it's been a 2-2 draw. We've won 2-1, 1-2-1 again, 1-2-0, 1-2-1, 1-1-0, 1-2-1, 1-3-1. Drawed 2-2, drawed 1-1, 1-2-1 again, and then last season obviously we won 4-3. So it tends to be a tight game. I remember the season when we played the Diamond. It was last season when Thiago was at like the base of the Diamond. The first half you guys were non-existent, and then the second half you guys came into the game. That game we should have put more past you. Even the 4-3, we should have definitely scored a hell of a lot more goal in the first half. But maybe this is the time for you guys to beat us. I don't see it happening at all, but
Craig Gecko man feels the same way I feel. Absolutely irrelevant. Who was our manager? Not Ainge Postecoglou. Was Harry Kane on that? Was Harry Kane on that team?
Same thing. We heard the same thing when Mourinho came in. We say,
hey, I know. I know.
Oh, it's
but this time she's loyal, and this time she's not gonna go out with the girls and cheat on me. I know it. This time is the time. I'm telling you. I know it's the little boy who cry wolf. Y'all talking Tottenham like little boy who cry wolf. That's okay. Because eventually that wolf's going to come to town and you're going to be like, oh, he's crying wolf again. And then guess what? We turned you around and now you ain't got no house. And we blew it down, I guess, with the little piggies and the little fairy tale there. So
best way we can look at this. If you guys win, you only got a point above us. And if we win, we go 5 points clear of you guys.
Yeah, and if we draw, it stays the same. So honestly,
no,
the pressure, like last week, I think the pressure's all on you.
I think the pressure is on you guys. You guys are at home. No one expects anything from Liverpool.
No, that's not true. A lot of people have Liverpool up there.
Bro, I'm telling you, no one expects much from Liverpool.
I wish I had 30 more minutes to go, man. I wish I did. But I will be on This Is Football right after this. So those of you on United Spurs of America, I have redirected. So as soon as this stream ends, it'll send you over to the place I'm at next. But big up, ends. I've really enjoyed this. We got to do this more often. Bro.
Final thought. I'll let you have final thought because you guys are going to need it.
My final thought is, while they sleep, we eat. And guess what? When you wake up, ain't going to be enough food for the hungry. And we ain't going to be hungry. So take that for what it is, and we'll find out on Saturday.
All I'm going to say, I've heard the same talk with every manager that you've had, and you haven't had a win since 2017. Even if you get one, it's 1 out of 15.
Keep playing the nostalgia card. That just plays better into our hand. Just like Arsenal.
You guys are at home, man. You got to take the game to us, bro.
It will be. Oh, it's going to be. That's what I'm saying. Don't matter if it's the moon, the parking lot, or the fucking stadium. We're bringing Ainge Ball to you one way or another.
You guys need a humbling still. But listen, guys, big up to you guys for listening in and tuning in, and big up for you guys even, taking part in the poll as well. Make sure you guys go over there and subscribe to Jacob, man. Cool guy. You guys already see that anyway. Don't even have to tell you that anyway. So go over, subscribe to United Spurs of America. Make sure you guys go and check him out because I'm sure once we slap these guys up, you guys want to run over there when he does his player range show or reaction show. So please go over there and subscribe and show him some love.
Come on, yo.
All right, then, man. Jacob.
Big up, everybody.
Time out, bro. Big up.
Man, it's been great. We got to do this again. A lot of fun.
All right. And listen, next time we play FIFA, I'll play with a lesser team. Peace out,
no, I don't want that. Keep bringing that.
Peace out, people. See you later.
Cool.